two people sitting having a conversation on the internet. You sit and think and wonder to yourself, is this a podcast?
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Is This a Podcast? I'm your host David Thorne, and today I have with me comedian Kelly Browne.
Hello, I am happy to be here, David.
I'm happy to have you here, Kelly. So
this is going to be fun.
This is going to be fun. It's like we've already done this once.
Deja vu, right?
Deja vu. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. You're not originally from Sacramento, correct?
Correct. I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas. I was born there. I was raised in Georgia, Atlanta, Jackson, Mississippi. I lived in Knoxville for a while. When I turned 21, I left, and I've never been back.
Yeah.
And I purposely tried to lose my accent.
That's very interesting. Now, I know that you had said, we spoke previously, and you said that your favorite place out of all the places you live was Seattle.
Oh, it was, absolutely. It's the most beautiful place in the world, I think. At least 1 month out of the year when it's not raining. And you get the mountains and the water, and downtown is beautiful when it's not being occupied. I have friends there, pretty close friends, and I worry about them because they live close.
Yeah. Huh.
So anyway, it's my favorite place. And I've lived in Connecticut and Cincinnati. I lived in Cincinnati for a while.
Yeah. So you say you purposely tried to lose your accent. Is that because you just didn't want people to know you were from the South?
Well, yeah. Well, it was kind of people looked down on me for it at the time.
Yeah.
So yes, I wanted to change it. My brother, who is 2 years younger than I am, sounds like Gregory Peck in Gone with the Inherit the Wind.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the slow.
I do declare, Scarlett.
I told him I wanted to get it back, for comedic effect.
Yeah.
And the first thing you have to do is don't use contractions. Do not use contractions.
It's all about the vowels too. Stretch the vowels out.
Yeah. Y'all.
Yeah.
See, don't I say that good, y'all?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really tried to lose my accent. I just talk how I talk.
No. Well, where have you lived?
I've lived in Tennessee and Alabama and California.
How'd you get here?
Oh, I got married, moved out here, and it didn't work out, so I decided to stay. I started doing comedy, and I was like, okay, I can't leave now. I love this too much. I get to do podcasts and meet with people and talk over the internet. Yep, that's what brought me out here. It wasn't comedy, but it was love that failed.
Yeah, well, as you know, perhaps, I have been married for 38 years.
I believe I
say
heard
that.
You say that in your stand-up. Yes. There was something else I wanted to ask you about. I think I heard you say in your stand-up. Now, you're a teacher?
Oh, librarian, yeah.
A librarian. I thought so. Why did I think teacher?
They're similar.
Similar?
They're similar.
I guess. But you're a librarian.
I am, yes. I don't work right now, but I was a librarian for 25 years, and actually, I was a law librarian, which is a very specialized thing. And I have a law degree, and I have a master's degree.
Okay.
And for this program, you had to have a law degree to get in the whatever.
Yeah.
And so I've only worked at law libraries, which are totally different from regular libraries.
So it's just like a bunch of boring legal shit instead of like books they can learn stuff with.
Sort of.
I'm guessing it's boring if it's legal stuff because I wouldn't find it interesting.
Oh,
Maybe other people would be like, "This is riveting legal shit," but
it is. It's really fascinating. Every Supreme Court case that comes out now, I read it.
Oh wow.
I mean, you get hooked. So, and I'm really upset. So
I guess.
And then
I guess that makes you informed, and knowing stuff is like, yeah. That's why they
Well,
say ignorance is bliss.
I can't watch TV anymore.
Oh,
So,
I try not to. You hear it enough. You don't have to watch TV. You can open Facebook and get everybody's take on
oh yeah,
everything. So,
opinion, yes.
yeah, that opinion mill. Most definitely. Now, moving on to something else. There's a topic that I do like to talk to everybody about. One of my favorite things is drug trips. Do you have any interesting stories? Psychedelics are the best. That's my personal favorite drug trips because
Yeah,
you learn a lot with those.
I, well, okay. Let's see. I graduated high school in 1978, so
Okay.
most of my drug stuff happened in high school and college. And well, my favorite ever drug trip was, and the statute of limitations has passed, so I can tell this story. My husband was in graduate school, which is why I went to Cincinnati,
Uh-huh.
and he was getting a PhD in experimental psychology, which is different from clinical psychology. What he did was he did experiments with rats. You know how rats, they'd rather press the lever and get morphine than food, right?
Really? Huh.
Yeah, they'd rather have drugs than food.
I,
And
I, I,
so,
I can't blame them.
yeah, they looked really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we had some friends visit, and so we took this rat morphine.
What? That's great. Oh, that's
It was
great.
so great. It was like the best ever. And we went to go see The Meaning of Life.
Monty Python?
Yes,
Oh my god.
I know it was incredible. It was incredible.
That's
So
awesome.
that was my favorite. And then something typical. Oh, I laugh at my own stories. I laugh at my own jokes. It's all right. Okay, so my brother and I are really close, and then I had this friend Kim in high school,
Yeah.
and we had driven to. This was in, I don't know. You don't know Jacksonville and North Little Rock. Anyway, we drove to the big movie theater in
Mhm.
North Little Rock. Big deal. And I was a senior, and my brother was what, sophomore? Doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't remember the story because I have absolutely no memory, which is another topic. But so we're apparently Kim and I had, it was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Kim and I had snuck a bottle of Boone's Farm into the movie. And so we drank this bottle of Boone's Farm. And afterwards, we're driving on, I-40 is a big highway, right? We're driving home. And apparently, I'd had half a bottle of Boone's Farm, which I can't imagine drinking today. And I'm going home, and I had a 1965 Plymouth Belvedere. I don't know if you know what that looks like. I was going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the story. I was going 100 miles an hour, and I got pulled over.
Oh wow.
Yes, and so I roll the window down, and the smoke comes billowing out, right? Well, that's marijuana smoke, marijuana. And I know it's true because my brother's there, my friend.
Yeah.
And so he says, license and registration. And of course, I give it to him, right? And I'm like, what is the problem, officer? And he says, well, you were going 100 miles an hour. And I said, oh, really? And he says, yes, ma'am. Your vehicle will not tolerate those speeds. And I said, thank you. And he let us go. Can you believe that? I mean, if my children drank and smoked and we were going 100 miles an hour, I would kill them, right?
Yeah.
So I can't believe I did that and I'm still alive. But you know why? You know why he let me go.
Why?
You don't know why he let me go. Because
Why?
because he saw who I was, and Daddy knew the police chief and the mayor, and all that. So knew who I was.
Okay. That's small town, I guess.
Small town, yes. And as a matter of fact, occasionally I would end up in the city jail, and Daddy would just come pick me up in the morning and take me home.
Wow. So you were a crazy teen.
I was, and you know what? Ryan knows none of this.
Oh, so
He knows absolutely none of it.
maybe I'll have a viewer for the podcast then, huh? Maybe.
We'll have to make him listen.
Oh yeah. Now that brings me to something else that I like to ask people about, and that's high school. High school is something I like to hear people's experience. What was your experience like in high school? You said you graduated in '78, so that's 1 year before I was born. You graduated.
Oh,
I'm not trying to make you feel old, but
It's all right. It's all right. It's too late.
no.
Oh.
I was born in '79, July 31st.
Gosh. Um, well, on the Y, I was talking to this guy, and he says, "Oh, he was telling a story. He says, you wouldn't know because you weren't alive in '82." And I just kind of looked at it like, what? Anyway, okay, high school. I was cool. I was pretty cool. But things were like totally different back then. And there was, for example, there was a smoking ramp where you could go smoke between classes, right?
They allowed you to smoke in high school back then?
Oh, absolutely. There was a whole outside ramp where you went between classes and before school, and if you wanted to after school, but most people left. And so anyway, they had wanted a senior lounge for it's freshmen, junior. They'd always wanted a senior lounge.
Yeah.
And then finally they talked about it at orientation when I was a senior. And I was also on the school newspaper, so I was covering this. And they said, we won't be able to have smoking in the senior lounge because of the fire code. And so I'm like, excuse me. I'm like one of those White House reporters. Excuse me, but you smoke in the teacher's lounge. How is that different?
Ooh,
And he's like, well, we have some things to work on. And then they wouldn't let us have snacks, which was, smoking and snacks was all we wanted because it would violate the school food lunch program. So we couldn't have snacks. And then they were saying you could have like the Future Business Leaders of America sell snacks on the smoking ramp. Can you imagine?
I can't believe that they let you smoke in school. I remember people getting in trouble for smoking in school. It was something you had to sneak and do.
Oh, well, when I was 13, I snuck some cigarettes from my mom's purse. And I set the house on fire.
Oh shit! Now,
it was accidental.
Like did the fire department get called out? Was it like
no, but it was. I did not have the foresight to steal an ashtray. My mom came home, and so I took the cigarette and I threw it in my wastebasket, which was full of Kleenex, right? So that just went up, and then I took it for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking. I took it to the pantry, which had a trash can in it. So I put the wastebasket into the trash can, I guess hoping it would die or something.
Yeah.
But in the pantry there was, one of those old-fashioned water heaters with the pilot light. And then Pam, the aerosol spray can that will blow up.
Oh, wow.
It gets on fire, yes. And so anyway, it just burst, right?
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, oh no. And but I don't know why, but I grabbed the fire extinguisher and I put it out.
Okay.
But it was a big fire.
Oh.
And then my mom comes and she says, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She says, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just don't know. It just burst into flame."
And then your mom called in an exorcist the next day.
Oh, they had a insurance investigation.
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Oh, it's great the way they, you know, redid the pantry. It's even better than it was before." And he says, "I'm glad insurance paid for it." And he says, "Well, they didn't, because they thought you started the fire."
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just sitting there and it caught on fire.
Yeah, I was just, yeah. What was that? That was nothing. I just went into that story without a question, didn't I? Okay.
Oh, man. So we already talked about your librarian.
Yes. Yeah.
What else? So, comedy. We talked about ID already, but as far as comedy goes,
Did we record that?
I don't even know. Let's talk about it again, and we'll see. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Yes, the ID mic and all that. You do comedy now. What are your long term goals for comedy? What are you trying to get? Is it just like a hobby, or is it something you're trying to pursue?
I don't know. Hobby sounds so frivolous, you know. It's not like I don't work really hard. You
Yeah.
know, I do. What am I like? I mean, I'm too old to ever, do anything with it. But that doesn't.
Yeah, that's not necessarily true.
Well,
If that's the case, then I'm too old to do anything.
I would like. I mean, I would like to do a lot more than I do. Um, I have ideas for shows, and I'm always begging people to let me be on their shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm available.
I know a lot of people have been just like, you got to put your own shows on.
Yeah.
And that does
Yeah.
make sense. Just like if you can find a venue and it's willing to have you and put on a show, or a mic, because
Yeah.
like the Vince's mic that's back, the few mics that are back, like at bars and whatnot, a lot of people are scared of those, but whatever. They're good
Yeah.
mics. Any mic's good. I was told you need to hit 3 mics a week if you're gonna
Oh.
be able to
See, that's the thing. I go to maybe one a week. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
tough now. Like before, you were able to, you had your options, everything was going on, but it's
yeah.
kind of. I feel like it's coming back though, because I've seen more and more flyers posting. So
Yeah.
we'll
I
see.
just hope they don't shut it down again. People are gonna hate me for saying that, but
Oh yeah, definitely. I hope they do. I think everybody hopes the same thing for that though. But yes, so.
yeah.
Tell me a little more about Seattle, since it was your favorite place. What was your favorite thing about it? You said you liked the rain, but anything else? Is it just like the climate or
Um,
people?
well, it was beautiful, the mountains and the water. I liked I liked my job. I liked where I lived. This is I'm not going into detail here. I had It's absolutely no secret that I have mental health issues, right?
Oh, I mean, we all do.
Okay. Well, they had oh God, what was it called? I forget what it was called, but it was uh, a group for attorneys or young women attorneys that needed this group therapy.
Uh huh.
And so I went to that, and I met my best friends for life. But there was this one woman there, and her name was Patty.
Uh huh.
and she would always talk about, well, she was married and she wanted to have an affair with this guy at her church, and she was always talking about how they would walk to his car or her car or whatever. And it was just on and on and on. And I said, Patty, if you talk about, no, I said to my friends, if she talks about that one more time, she brings up that subject, I am going to run screaming from the room. So she brought it up and I ran screaming from the room, and everybody else is just dying laughing, except for the counselors who were just like nuts. But that's my counseling story.
Nice. Yeah, I know you were talking about the mental illness. I know what that's definitely like. That's one of the reasons. I need to write more about that for the ID now. I know that I've got borderline personality disorder. That's one of the things. I think that isn't that one of the things that you have a thing about. I know there's a couple of us at that mic that like have talked about that. And all I know that from reading about it is just like you make a lot of unhealthy relationships, and it's real easy. Yes.
The whole thing that I do now is really about sort of about borderline personality disorder, and I think that's what I'm gonna do at the next ID show. But people who have borderline personality disorder often are pathological people pleasers, and so they are nice, but that's really not what they feel on the inside.
Oh God, no.
That's all from that.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking. You just described me totally. It's just like, I want to make people happy, but at the same time,
inner dialogue, right?
Yeah, it's just like, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely there with you on that. You know what I'm talking about then. I get you. Yeah, borderline personality disorder. That's a fun one. Also bipolar too in my
me
case.
too.
Oh,
and OCD.
I don't know about the OCD in my case, but I know the borderline personality disorder and bipolar definitely. Oh, and don't forget the old PTSD. That one's a fun one too. You throw that one in there.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Congratulations. It's not great.
I like borderline personality disorder is called borderline because it's halfway between neurosis and psychosis, right, on the mental health spectrum.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of neuroses, which is you don't lose touch with reality. And I say I don't know if I've ever had psychosis because I wouldn't remember.
Oh, I've been there, done that. Got the T-shirt and
no, because you lose touch with reality. You see.
Yeah. I've done that, and people have said I can't believe that you could have something go through something like that and not remember it. I'm like it's a fucking real thing. it's very, very real that you can do a bunch of stuff and not remember doing it.
Oh yeah,
very real.
That's true for many things, unfortunately.
Yeah, that like a lot of people don't understand that mental health's a real thing, and that's it's a problem.
Oh well, I don't. You probably remember, but I don't remember. But I did a whole thing about not remembering.
Yes. I also have a terrible memory, and I don't know what it's from. Maybe getting hit in the head too many times. Maybe
possibly
lots and lots of weed smoking. Possibly from all the cough medicine I used to take. It could be a number of things.
Wait. What kind of cough medicine?
Oh, it was like Robitussin
with codeine in it, right?
Well, not the stuff with codeine in it. It was the stuff you could get at Walmart. It was the stuff that had dextromethorphan and hydrochloride. It was like the drugstore tripping.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, my best friend in Ohio, her son was on that, and he walked into the middle of the street and got killed.
Holy shit!
I'm sorry, that's depressing.
No, that's crazy. I mean, I don't doubt it. I did some pretty stupid shit on it. I'm lucky to be alive, probably, but yeah, I just got tired of it and quit eventually. I guess I got smart, but you know.
I think, well, I cannot drink more than 2 glasses of wine. If
Uh-huh.
I have 3, I'm just, that's it. You know, I cannot control myself. So, and I forget everything.
Oh wow.
I was like, what? We did what?
Oh wow.
So don't even listen to me. And so I guess that's not really a lot, is it?
2 glasses of wine, not a whole
Or
lot.
three, but
Oh, three, that's definitely not a lot. I think I could probably drink I feel like I could drink a whole bottle of wine and not get super drunk.
yeah, wow.
Probably. It depends on
Wow.
the wine, I guess. I'm not a fan of wine though.
Yeah, I can't drink beer. I actually it's the only thing I like. So
I like beer. My
yeah,
stouts are my favorite.
a lot of people do. Yeah,
I like I like chocolate stouts. But there's this peanut butter whiskey
yeah,
called
yeah. You were
Screwball.
drinking that. You were drinking that the other night, and I wanted some.
They actually ran out of it at Vince's last night.
Mm.
I'll probably have to get some more maybe. I don't know. I know I have a bottle and it's pretty good. It's probably the best whiskey I've ever had.
My favorite candy or whatever is Reese's peanut butter cups. So
Yes, I got some chocolate beer, so chocolate porter, chocolate hazelnut porter, and I took like shots of the pick screwball and like dropped it in there and did like I called it a peanut butter cup because basically like a Boilermaker with a dark beer.
that sounds wonderful.
I'm working on it. I think my favorite stout though has to be the Belching Beaver chocolate peanut butter porter. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Not porter, chocolate peanut butter stout. Porters are good too.
Well, when I go to the comedy spot, they only have beer because of their liquor license.
Yeah.
And I always go up to the bar and I say, I'll have whatever tastes least like beer.
You
And so they give it to me.
don't drink White Claws.
No, no.
They're not great, but they're not that bad. Like,
Yeah. They
but
always have something new every time. Well, they
yeah,
used to when they were open.
most definitely.
Uh, so this is a little bit about why I started doing stand up is
Hmm.
because I volunteered at the comedy spot
Yeah.
for a long time. And I was always there on Thursday nights, which is like cage match and improv jam. It was always improv.
Yeah.
And I like improv when it's well done.
Oh yeah, definitely. Improv's weird otherwise. Going in and
Yes.
catching an improv show halfway through with no
Oh,
context is like what the fuck are they talking about?
yeah. And I have to admit, I mean, I took improv 101 and I suck at it. I suck at improv really, really bad. But one time on Thursday night, they had stand up. I was like, wow, that's funny.
Yeah. Stand up's
I
definitely.
want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I know that I started taking a stand up 101 class at Stab and like I did 2 weeks of it and the following 2 weeks that it was scheduled I was booked, so I kind of dropped out and
Oh,
only took half the class. And I took the storytelling class, Johnny Taylor's storytelling class at
I would
Peachtree.
like to take that.
That's a good one. It's a good class. Get a lot of feedback. I got a 7-minute story out of that class. So
I
yeah.
like stories.
Oh yeah, stories are fun. It's like you gotta like write it. I don't know. It's hard to write a story though and make it funny. You gotta just like embellish on a lot of stuff. Is what I noticed. That's the best info I could give, in my personal opinion.
They're based on the truth.
Oh yeah, that my story is very, very based on the true. It's based on true events. Like the events are totally changed, and it didn't happen anything like that. So if I
Uh,
told it how it happened, it wouldn't be funny. That's
uh,
what you have to do with comedy, from
yeah.
what I'm understanding. Because
Yeah, start with what's true, and
just build around the truth, basically.
yeah,
Not
but
everything's got to be 100% true to be based on true
oh
story. It doesn't
yeah,
even
yeah,
have to be true. I don't guess. It just has to be funny.
yeah. I mean, I make a lot of stuff up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like the part
So,
about you being married. No, no, I'm kidding.
except for that part, yeah,
Except for that part.
yeah. So let's see, what else? What else?
I don't know. So you said you lived in the South till you were 21, and you
Yeah.
said you moved out of the South to go to grad school?
Cincinnati. My husband was in graduate school,
Okay.
and yeah, he was in graduate school. So I put him through graduate school, and then he put me through law school, and then we
Okay.
left.
That's cool.
Yeah, I work for insurance companies, which is something I have to think about before I say it, is insurance
Yeah.
instead of insurance.
Yeah.
That's an accent thing.
Ah. I don't think about my accent. I couldn't. It's too much trouble. I
Yeah.
just talk
Oh,
out
well,
of
that's
it.
one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is because of your accent. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I'm blanking. Gail? I'm
Gail
blanking.
Jones?
Yes, yes,
Oh, I love her. She is
yes.
such a
I do
sweet
too, and
lady.
I don't know how she's doing lately. Do you?
She's in the nursing home, right?
Yeah, but I haven't heard from her.
I know
I should check.
occasionally she posts on Facebook. I know that, yeah, she's in the nursing home, and hopefully she's doing well. She's funny.
Mm.
She's freaking
Oh,
hilarious. I love her to death.
me
I
too.
love
Me
her to
too.
death.
And she's also from Middle Tennessee.
Yes, she is
Yeah.
from Tennessee. She is from Tennessee because I remember meeting her at that ID open mic, and I was just like, oh man, this lady's great. Like, just seeing her
Yeah.
on stage, I was like, this lady is awesome. She's
Yeah.
hilarious. Oh man.
And she's a sex therapist.
Yeah. I know she was on Dr. Buddy Love that
Yes.
one time.
Yeah. I want to be on Dr. Buddy Love. And I told Buddy that I wanted, well, it was just an idea, but he said he liked it. That I wanted to be on at the same time as my son, because
That's a good show. I mean, that's a good theme for the show. It's like mother son on the same show. It's great.
yeah, well,
Like,
that's actually it. Well, I proposed that for what
like
weird, strange, and bizarre, and I think that's it.
yeah,
But he did actually. But but I thought it would be good for Dr. Buddy because, first of all, we have our sets,
yeah,
which are both kind of blue. He talks about how he can't come because of the antidepressants,
yeah,
um, which I never heard of that. I mean, I've
yeah,
heard of it, but I did not know that about him.
yeah,
And so anyway, but after that, we could have a thoughtful discussion, don't you think?
yeah. That is pretty good. Yeah, like I know you were talking about your sets are blue, and up until like a few weeks ago, I didn't know that that's what like dirty comedy was blue comedy. Because went and did a mic called Blue Mic, and they were like, "Yeah, you were blue," and it's like I was like, I didn't realize that was what that meant. Now I know, because I know a lot of my stuff's dark, but I have a lot of dirty shit too. I have a lot of probably. I'm pretty black and blue, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's a word I use like off color blue, it's
Yeah,
code
yeah, yeah.
for something I can't really talk about.
Oh yeah. She could talk about anything through comedy as long as you make it funny, I guess.
As long as you're up on stage, it's fine.
Yeah, unless you're saying some like racist shit, I guess, then it's not fine, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, there's freedom of speech, but nobody wants to hear that shit.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have anything racist.
I don't.
I
Well,
wouldn't.
I don't know where just the stuff about where I'm from, just my Minor Hill joke, but that's all
Well,
true stories.
well, there was horrible, terrible racism in the South, and that's
Oh,
one reason I left.
oh God, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't like it there. Just the closed-mindedness of it all, and it's like they're willing to turn a blind eye to stuff that is clearly in front of them.
This is
And
this
yeah,
is an aside, and tell me when I've run out of time.
oh no,
But my grandmother, my mother's mother, there was remember how 1958 they closed Central High School. The governor closed it to prevent integration, called out the National Guard,
In
And then
Birmingham?
Isaac in Little Rock,
Oh,
the
okay.
Central High School 5. And anyway, they closed the school,
Yeah.
and they had the National Guard there and all that kind of stuff. And my grandmother was a founding member of the Women's Emergency Committee to open our schools. And they actually were the group that opened the schools.
Uh-huh.
And what they did was, they were women, they were white women of a certain age,
Yeah.
generation. They had they didn't, they were just white because they thought that would have more influence. Their goal was to influence their husbands to be for integration, because they were women, they couldn't
Yeah.
come out and speak to themselves. And they had a sex committee, though, which was encouraged them to withhold sex from their husbands until their husbands changed their minds and
Whoa,
before
that's
integration. And and they had, I mean, they passed their membership list on every night because
uh-huh.
people got death threats. It was that dangerous. And they also went out and had signs and protested.
Hmm.
And my grandmother was a teacher, and they were firing teachers
Oh
for
wow.
protesting. And that's what made me, I was like, I don't care. It's not dangerous. My grandmother could do that. I need to go to a protest. I mean,
Yeah. Did you?
I mean, I have to, but what am I doing?
I
And
know.
other people have done so much, I guess I was thinking.
I've been to a few since living right by the Capitol, because it's like I go outside and they're happening. Like, I know when they came through, the people upset about the quarantine, wanting to end that.
Mm.
I know I saw
I
those
remember
people
that.
come
I
too.
remember that. I know people who were there,
Yeah.
actually.
I walked outside and
People
watched them.
that were there.
Oh yeah, we probably know mutual people that were probably there for the same reasons, but I wasn't there in support of that. And then also I saw the Black Lives Matter protests, and as far as those go, they were just as peaceful as the
Oh
other.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I will say they did not drive around honking their goddamn horns. So I appreciate them doing that,
Yeah.
because the ones that just wanted the world to open back up were being annoying, honking their horns. And
Yeah. 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 They were, well, they were not social distancing at the Black Lives Matter protest. And
there
I
were
mean, they weren't at the,
there were a considerable amount of people wearing masks though. Like most of the
yeah.
people, the majority of the people at those protests, I would say, were wearing masks. I
Well,
would,
everybody was shoulder to shoulder. I mean, which was
yeah.
great,
I
you
don't,
know.
I don't, I don't like wearing the masks out in outside, out in the open air. Like, if I'm in a building or inside of an establishment where it's required, yeah, I'm gonna wear it. But if I'm not required to wear it, I'm not gonna wear it. That's just me. If that makes me a bad person, then I'm sorry.
I have panic attacks, so
Yeah,
just can't.
it frustrates me to no end. But I mean, that's it could, it's nothing that I can't wear. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an inconvenience, I guess. Oh.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I keep thinking I didn't live in a attic for 4 years either, Just had to stay home. Have a
That is
TV.
true. Oh well. To wrap it up, what I like to do is get you to go ahead and give me any social media plugs, anything like that, anything you got coming up you want anybody to check out. Just let them have it.
Um, someday I will be on another ID show. I don't have a lot coming up. Um, I have talked to people about things, and then I've
Yeah.
submitted a lot of ideas. But I'd rather wait until they actually are happening, because they're not going to happen until
Yeah.
this is
Well,
over. And
even though
go
this
ahead.
is going to go on up in the future, so no specific dates, but just like any social media or anything like do you have a podcast or anything like that you want to plug?
I do not have a podcast. I'm one of the few people who does not.
Uh oh.
I am so technologically incompetent. It's ridiculous. So I have to get my husband to help me, and I have to get my son to help me, and it's just really funny. So I mean, I do have a Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
and my dog has a Facebook page. Have you ever seen Milo? Milo is he's my dog, and he comments on music and politics and popular culture and fashion, and
Mm-hmm.
he has a lot of followers actually.
That's funny.
So that's Milo. That's kind of different. He started off on Instagram.
That's cool.
Oh, Instagram and my name is Baked Potato.
All right, follow you on
And I was
Instagram.
locked out of Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah. And oh, you know what? Facebook took down one of my posts because it was a joke. Naturally, it
Uh-huh.
said the doctor, you have coronavirus. Person, what's the cure? And the doctor's like, well, it was an '80s band fronted by so and so, but that's not important, right? Focus, right?
That's
I thought that was hilarious.
and that got
So
taken down.
Facebook took it down because they thought I was promoting a cure for the coronavirus. So I took a screenshot of that and then posted it and
That's
said,
funny.
well, I'm glad they're,
Comedy cures the coronavirus.
yeah, I'm glad they're,
Fucking, that's what cures coronavirus.
Yeah.
Comedy people laugh at it. It'll
it's
go
like, this
away.
is overkill,
Laugh at it, it'll go away.
Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I post on Facebook.
All right. Well, Kelly, thank you
It
very
has been a
much.
delight.
It has. This has been fun. I've enjoyed talking to you. Sorry about the beginning, having to start over. Oh. But anyway, I do appreciate you being on. It's been fun. I'm going to go ahead and end it there, all right?
All right.
Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment, tell me what you thought. Follow me on Twitch at The Southern Reject. Thanks. Have a good day.